Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm Delp and today we are kind of ripping off someone else's Warframe content. The reason why I'm doing this is because what he said in that video makes a lot of sense. Some of it is just really useful and I didn't even know myself. I want to make sure that my subscribers know about this as well. So that is why I'm doing it. But among all the things that he explained, I think there's a list of 10 things that he showcased that he thinks is really useful for Empyrean. To me, I feel like only about 5 of them is pretty good. The rest is may not be that useful, or it might be patched later on. So I will point out that 5, and if you want to know the full list, you have to go over to his channel, click on that video and watch it yourself. So the guy's name is AllBlade4, and you guys most likely heard of him. He is way more popular than I am. So the first tip from him that I want to point out is that the research parts are actually not that bad and they cost way less. So for example, a Sigma reactor, which he also made the same example, at MK3, it costs really little, or rather at least half as less than something like a ZACD reactor MK3, and stat wise is also not as bad. So in other words, you can definitely consider crafting the one from the research lab and use it to farm something even better in the future, because especially if you're new or if you're just playing for the first week, the reactors that you get is most likely not going to be the top tier. So to get the best roll, you kind of need to farm this for a while, and why not run something cheap but also pretty good while farming for those parts. There's also another perk about doing this, is that the research lab parts, the moment you fabricate it, you can use it right away, whereas things that you repair will take maybe 12 hours or something to fully repair, even if you have the mats. So that is also something to consider. The only drawback is you have to make sure that you have it researched. So like in my case, my clan is still working on it, so the MK3s are still under research. Something to look forward to in my future video, which I'll be talking, is once the ordnance, which is like the secondary weapon, once all the MK3 is done, I'll probably purchase some of them, and there's actually only 3. I might actually purchase all of them and test them out. I already have a rough idea what they're actually meant to be used for. I feel like DE actually made them for specific purposes, and we're going to talk about them and how to utilize them better. So there are 3 here: the Glavrak, Milati, and also Tycho. Oh, Tycho. So the next thing that he mentioned that I actually legit did not know until when I saw his video just a few hours ago is that you can actually use your Archwing dash with your Railjack. So it's kind of similar to your Archwing, but instead of blinking, it's a really high power boost. So you move a lot faster, and what you need to do is exactly what you do with the Archwing. You double tap on your shift and then you hold, and it'll push you forward a lot faster. When you let go, it also kind of has that momentum thing. I don't know what exactly that is, but it pushes you forward even a little bit more, but you do have to time it properly if you want to get your position correct. The thing that he said that I do not agree about is that he says that he thinks it's a bug. I strongly disagree. The reason why is simply because of the sound effect that it produced. It seems a little bit unique to it being used. Another reason is because when you double tap on the boost, you'll actually see a huge lump of your, what do you call, stamina, energy, that bar below your energy, the flux energy. You actually see a big chunk just disappear, and I feel like it has to be made such that you can do it. So it's definitely not a bug in my opinion, because these things are implemented into the game. You don't have a bug and have it react that way, in my opinion. So yeah, so that is the one thing that I really disagree with him. Okay, the next thing is about the healing balls that I believe it came from the cruise ships. They launched this like huge yellowish electric field ball thing, And what I didn't know, but technically I didn't learn from him, I learned from playing with other players. And when I remember I said something like, oh, the healing is so annoying, and the person actually told me how you can destroy it. So it's just like a nullifier bubble. If you hit it, it actually shrinks, and at some point when it shrinks really small, it explodes. So that is a neat thing to know, because let's face it, those healing auras is so bad, especially if your damage is not good enough. They are practically immortal if you can't do enough burst damage. Now the last two things that I will be mentioning here that he talked about is something that I feel like it will be patched, but it's still kind of useful to know now. One is there's something wrong with the hacking system. If you were to go into a cruise ship and you enter to the part where you have to hack the reactor in order to release the field that is protecting the reactor, you don't really need to hack it. You can just go in and pop out and the field will just disappear. So that is definitely going to be fixed, because otherwise what's the purpose of having to hack? And the last one is Warframes passive being able to carry into your Archwing. Technically I feel like this is not really that overpowering, but it's still up for debate if it will be patched. So characters like Garuda, which we tested in our last video, that did nothing to buff up the Railjack. However, if you have Garuda's buff passive and you go into Archwing mode, you will actually have that damage buff. So the one that he showcased is with Hildren, and her passive is that whenever the shields deplete into 0, she becomes immortal. So for a Archwing, it's gonna work as well. So whenever the shield of the Archwing is gone, it becomes immortal. And it is a little bit weird considering the Archwing also have a significant amount of health, unlike Hildren. But yeah, still up for debate if it's going to be removed. I do kind of think that it will be, simply because it just doesn't feel like it's meant to be. But I don't see a big problem with letting this slide, because technically the Warframe is still in the Archwing, I guess. Alright, so I've picked the important ones that I feel like is actually useful and share it here. If you want to see the rest of the tips that he has given, you have to go to his channel and click on that video. Make sure you give him some love. I hope this video helped. By the way, while waiting for the clips that I have to be loaded into my editor, I'd like to wish you guys Merry Christmas. And I'll be giving away 5 glyphs to whoever that comes to my Discord under the Warframe lobby and just wish Merry Christmas. The first 5 is going to get the glyph. After you're done that, PM me, make sure you're one of the first 5, and after that I guess you can still wish if you want to, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.